right, thank you, Ross. Well, fun to get in the Valley today and play some football. Something we've all been looking forward to for a while. Just being able to get out there and let them play, and it was a great day. Good Lord gave us unbelievable weather. It was cool. I mean, actually very cool as we got started this morning. But just really proud of the team. We've been going since it'll be 2 weeks on Tuesday, and just really proud of how they've worked. And today was the first time to really get everybody out of the way and let them play. Got all the field zones worked, and created a couple of situations that I wanted to get some work on as well. But as far as the day, I thought our second defense was very, very consistent, really won the day for the defensive side of things. And then our first offense, the Orange group, dominated the day. So, and we did pretty much good on good all day. But as far as how the day played out, I thought the first offense was very, very good, very consistent. And then the second D, Potter finished with a nice day, kicking field goals. I think he ended up, he was 4 or 5, I believe. And Will did a good job punting. Proud of Jack Maddox, the job he's doing at snapper. Been very consistent for us, and he's kind of positioned himself to be the starter for us right there. We're losing a great guy like Phibbs from last year, so excited about Jack Maddox and the job he's done. But saw some flashes of some really good young players. I thought we were pretty good early. The longer the scrimmage went, we got a little sloppy in some areas, had a couple holdings, had too many offsides defensively. We did have a couple of interceptions, which was good to see. Fred Davis had one, and then Joseph Charleston had an interception off a tip ball. I think that's the second day in a row. But Lynn J, really, really good day. Really proud of him. I thought Venture did some good things as well. And then, Cornell Powell had a tremendous day. We got a bunch of guys out, which was kind of encouraging with our first offense. Travis was out today, got banged up the other day. Held him out today. And then Frank Ladson and Amari were out as well today. And then Joseph Ngata is here but wasn't able to practice because he's going through the acclimatization. He should be hopefully starting back on Monday. And then a Joe, who we were super excited about, actually tweaked his hamstring, right at the beginning of practice. So he wasn't able to scrimmage, which is unfortunate because he's had an unbelievable camp. Super excited about him. So that's a bunch of guys that weren't able to go. But yet I thought our first offense, these guys stepped up and really did a great job for us. So, again, got a lot of work done, a lot of fun. I think everybody came through it well. I think Will Brown was the only one. He came down, kind of got tagged, made a nice little grab, got tackled on his shoulder, and so we're kind of checking his shoulder area out. So hopefully he's going to be okay. But other than that, I think we're in pretty good shape.
Coach, any in your offensive line so far this season, what are you seeing out there? And talk about Cade Stewart specifically and his leadership coming into his senior year.
Yeah, well, we've got a very experienced group. Our first group is going to be outstanding. I don't see any drop off at all. But that's a credit to Robbie, number one, and just how we play guys. I mean, we've played a lot of guys. We played 76 guys a game last year and led the country 2 years in a row. So, this year's a little different for us. That first group, that first offensive line's going to have to play more snaps because we're very young behind them. But those guys are all getting better. But, man, Cade, he got a ton of experience last year. And he's a really, really good football player. Very, very good player. And, can play center, can play guard. He actually could be a serviceable tackle for us if we needed him to be. Very strong, very smart, and has done a great job with his snaps to this point in camp. But he's been really, really good. That whole first group, Jordan McFadden is I think a special talent. Jackson Carman, I don't know that there's anybody better in the country than him. and big Bach horse. So we got the state of Ohio on the left side there with Bach and Jackson, and then Cade has just done a great job. And Will Putnam got good experience last year. That's really paid off for him. So, like I said, that first group is as good as we've had.
Dabo, I guess after you rattled off all those names missing from the first group, the question would be, who was on the first group at receiver, I guess?
Yeah. So, that's a Joe and Gata and Amari and Frank. That's some firepower right there. Not there, but as I said, I thought Cornell was the best player on the field today. I thought I think he had 3 touchdowns, just had a great day. It's just awesome. He's a 5th-year senior, and it's just that's what it's all about. And, that's why, it's so good to be able to see him, hang in there and continue to grind. But Cornell had a great day. The other kid that I think has had a great day is Spector. Specs had a couple of really good days in a row. Super proud of him. So, Spec and Cornell and Will Brown and Will Swinney kind of worked with the first group. Will Brown and Will Swinney in the slot, and those guys did a great job. And then EJ, he played our 9-man in the second group. So Cornell played the 9-man with the first group today. He's played everywhere. Cornell is really had a very consistent camp at the 2-man, the 5-man, and the 9-man. But with a Joe going out, with Frank out, with Joseph out, and Amari, because Amari's actually, believe it or not, has worked a lot of 9-man for us in camp. So, we're just trying to cross-train as many guys as we can because, you have to be ready. And so I'm just, really proud. And Grish has done a great job, man. These guys have all gotten better. And I'm super pleased with what we've seen. But we got a really good group, a lot of good depth, and even the walk-on group that we have at receiver is those guys could go play for a lot of schools. I mean, all those young guys, Hamp Green and Hampton Earl, Max May, Josh Jackson, that whole group, Ty Herbstreit, all those guys have made unbelievable improvement. It's a really, really talented group from top to bottom, from our last walk-on to, the top guy in the room. So a lot of depth, and Grish has done a good job of having them ready. And you saw that today. Those guys stepped up and performed at a high level for us.
Dabo, it's Nicole Auerbach from The Athletic. My question's, everyone's waiting to get clarity about eligibility and scholarship limits for next year. I'm wondering, what would you like to see the NCAA decide about that, just with the uncertainty of how the season's going to look?
You know what? I'm not even thinking about that. I'm just trying to go grade this tape and get ready for meetings and another. We're gonna break camp on Tuesday and we start school on Wednesday. So that's all I'm worried about. All that other stuff. I mean, our expectation is to go play the season. So hopefully we don't have to worry about any of that. If we do, we'll figure it out.
Hey, Coach, with Travis out, how'd the young running backs look today?
I will go back. I'm sorry. I'll go back on that question. We've not had anybody opt out. So maybe our situation is different. We have 120 and all 120 are here. Voluntarily. Nobody has to be here, staff or players. So everybody's here on their own. So, but if I had somebody that opted out, that maybe was a senior or something like that, I assume that's what you're talking about. Then hopefully they would, give them their year back. And, that's, and I think they even said something about if you only played half your games, that would be another thing. I think they said something about it.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Just
okay. Yeah, we haven't had anybody opt out, so it really hasn't been a scenario for us. But I do think they came out and said if you can only play half your games or something.
Yeah, so it's kind of extending the redshirt rule to 6 games essentially.
Yeah. And I would be all for that. And we talked about that as coaches on one of our 10,000 Zoom calls this summer. Was trying to see if we could get the Football Oversight Committee to approve 6 games for lots of reasons. for what you're talking about, but also, with uncertainty, maybe you've got some guys quarantining from week to week or whatever, and just having the numbers available.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right,
Hey,
Coach.
Coach.
Have you already, Trevor Groves, CUtigers.com here. Have you already addressed? I just joined the room. Have you already addressed those backup quarterbacks, DJ and Tyson, and the day that they had today?
No, I haven't. Both of them did some really good things. It's as good a quarterback room as probably there is in the country. Just great people, first of all, and then the young man Hunter Helms is our preferred walk-on guy that we brought in, and so he's our fourth guy. We only got four, and he's doing a really nice job as well. So he's really picking things up. So it's a really good group. They all got work today. Trevor was outstanding. I mean, just outstanding. And Trevor actually had a couple of touchdowns himself today with his legs. So just making good decisions, very accurate with the ball. And what I love about what I've seen out of our quarterbacks, because we've had a lot of transition at wideout with either an injury or somebody not able to practice for whatever reason. And those guys are just building great chemistry with the whole group. So it's been really good. And Trevor's been awesome, but Tyson and DJ are doing well. And
Hey,
continue
Coach.
to every single day.
Hey, Coach. Lawton Swann with Clemson Sports Talk. Freshman running back DeMarcus Bowman and Kobe Pace. How'd those guys look today with Travis out?
They did good. Bowman, neither one of them really got any work with the first group. But they're and I hate to say it, but it's just kind of what you think about. When I've been here long enough, and it's for Clemson people, it's just the best way to describe it. But it's like thunder and lightning all over again. You got Kobe Pace, who's this big, strong, physical, powerful runner, and then you got Bowman who can just absolutely fly. So they're completely polar opposites, but both really, really, really good football players. So I'm excited about what they both bring to the table. They both got a lot to learn. There's a lot going on, within our schemes and playing without the ball, protections, route running, lining up right, all the nuances. They got a lot to learn. But saw both of them today, caught my eye. The guy that was having a great camp was Ches Malusi, and he kind of got a helmet on the shoulder a few days ago, so he's been out. But hopefully be back here sooner than later. He was having a great camp, as is Mikey Dukes. So we've got a really good group. Richard's just steady Eddie, man. Every time you put him in there, he just finds a way to gain yards. Very productive guy within his role. And Lynn J he's a special player and is just at a whole nother level. Confidence, mentality, you name it. It's a good group.
Yeah, but this is Matt. With so much going on and kind of the uncertainty and everything, and you got Jeff Scott down in South Florida and everything he's doing with that program. Have you talked to him at all and kind of checked in with him at all to see how things are going with him?
Jeff Scott? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've talked to him many, many, many times, since March. And, in fact, he called me early on, when all this stuff was going, and he was like, "Hey, Coach, I spent all this time with you." And he said, "I've got all these books." And he said, I can't find the pandemic section anywhere in the book. And so I told him, I said, that's because I had it in a drawer in glass that said break only if necessary. So we got a little laugh out of that. And I got glass all over my office too, by the way. But, he's doing great. It was tough in the beginning because, you're excited, you get your team, you're ready to go. As a first-time head coach, everything is the first time. So no one knows your culture or your vision. And then you have new coaches, and now all of a sudden you can't be together, and you're trying to do everything like this. You can't see anybody. And, you don't get to really know your players. So I think they had one practice. So it was tough in the beginning for him, but I think he's settled in, and they're doing a great job. So hopefully, they'll be able to get to the field and have some type of season this year and accomplish some of those things as a first-year head coach that you'd like to get into place. But they just had a baby boy, Hunter. So really, really happy for Jeff and Sarah. in that regard as well. They've been blessed with two precious kids now.
Dabo, who on that second group defense stood out to you today?
And they mix and match those guys a good bit. Some of those guys go from first to second. We got some really good depth over there, but there were several guys. I thought Joseph Charleston won. Fred Davis had a nice big play on a nice interception. He's a long guy, gets his hands on the ball. He's got excellent ball skills. Malcolm Green is another guy that catches your eye. Rook, I saw him a few times inside. He's a big load in there. But they, like I said, they mix and match those guys so many times between the ones and twos. But overall, I thought they were very, very steady. And Landon Zanders is another guy with the first group that just continues to catch your eye. He and Nolan just very, very solid in that starting group.
Hey, Dabo, this is Grace from The Athletic. I know you said that you guys have only had one positive test since July, but I was just wondering if you had been kind of keeping up with what's been going on around the league with Pittsburgh, Syracuse, Florida State, some of these student bodies coming back, just kind of what you make of where the league is as a whole right now.
To be honest with you, I've heard a little bit of stuff, but not really. We're in camp, and when you're in camp, you're either at practice or in a meeting, or getting ready for a meeting, or getting some eat, or getting some food, or maybe it's a few of those hours where you try to get some sleep. So we've been in full camp mode for a while now, and just really focused on what we got to do here.
Are you, I guess, still as confident as you were a few days ago that this is something that you think can still happen?
There's no doubt in my mind that again, I can only speak from our perspective. There's zero doubt that first of all, our guys are safer with us. There's no question about that, and they all want to be here. They all want to play, and I think that we absolutely can play safely. We can't keep anybody from getting the virus. We can limit the exposure and all those type of things, but you can't get in your car. The only way you can keep anybody from getting the virus is everybody just sit in their house and never leave. So I think that what we've been doing has been great, and I think again, the opportunity that they have to be together, to be tested, to be in a tight group of people that are also tested, to have, again, the medical care, the food, the nutrition, and just, be allowed to do what they love to do. I think it's exactly what we need, especially from a mental health standpoint and just overall continued development for these guys.
Take about 2 or 3 more for Coach.
Hey, Dabo, it's Phil Kornblut
Blake.
in Columbia. Have you thought about your home game day activities? Like, will things be per normal, ride the bus, run down the hill, and then also not having the fans in the stands and the big number, how that might affect the players, or just the way the game is played out? Have you given that much thought?
Well, we thought about a lot of things, and we have a great event management group around here that's way deep in the weeds, our operations staff and all that on, game day operations and all this thing, and then everything from the ACC that's been. There's a whole, if you want to just bored, you can log down the game operations manual from the ACC, and it'll give you plenty to do. So. Everything will be mitigated, from fans to how we do everything. But we step between the lines. It's football, whether there's one person in the stands or nobody. I always tell the team, championships are won when the stands are empty. So literally, they may be won this year when they're empty. I've been saying that for a long time. But, it's at the end of the day, we're not playing for that. We're all here because we love what we do. Trevor Lawrence isn't here. Trevor Lawrence don't have to play. He's here because he loves to play, and he loves his team. I don't have to be here, but I love my job, and I love my guys. And we all know that there's risk and so forth. But we all feel like this is the best thing for us. So whether there's anybody in the stands or not, it still comes down to blocking and tackling and throwing and catching and execution, playing tough, playing smart, playing with discipline, playing with relentless effort, passion, playing for each other. So, that's all we're locked in on is just trying to find a way to get ready, number one, and then just try to get 1-0 each week.
Do you still think you'll take the buses around and do the hill entrance?
I'm sure we would. I'm not to the hill yet, but those are probably all things to be discussed in the coming days.
Thank you.
Dabo, other than, I guess, Blake Vinson, do you have your full group of offensive linemen available?
No, heck no. We've got guys, Taquan's been out, which is unfortunate for him. He's been battling a little bit of a migraine, but he hopefully will be back here sooner than later. So he was out today. Blake is close. He's still, getting back with his knee, so he's not quite in the full go yet. Boating and Trotter have been out here for a little while for some protocol stuff, and get somebody else who's down today. I can't remember who it was. But no, everybody's been rolling in there and doing a good job.
We'll take one last one for Coach.
Dabo, what are your thoughts right now on the young defensive line and how those guys are looking so far?
As advertised, special group. Brian Brzee is he's probably better than advertised, to be honest with you. He is a really talented player, but he's a very smart player. He's made huge strides. I would say the same thing for Miles Murphy. I think those two guys are just, they just make you better the moment they step on the field. They're just really, really that talented, but they're really good people. They're very smart and know a lot about football right now. Capehart and Trey, those two, same thing, really talented. Trey is coming off of a shoulder surgery, but Trey is twitchy and very super athletic. A guy that I think is going to be a really great player here. And then Capehart is a little bit like Dexter in that he's just this massive presence in there. But he's still kind of building the football foundation that he needs for all that talent that he has to really shine through. But all four of those young D linemen and our staff did an amazing job of evaluating, and we knocked it out of the park with all four of those guys. They're going to be excellent players.
All right. Thank you, Coach. Thanks, everybody, for joining us.
Thank you.